Happy New Year. I don't really know why, but for some reason not a lot of people have messed with the four-wheel drive version of this truck. And there aren't a lot of aftermarket parts for it, so I just have to buy things and then see if they fit. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a lot planned for 2018 with the carry truck, especially. We're going to finish that this year, hopefully before summer. So we've got a lot to do, lots of episodes to make, lots of things to experiment with. And it looks like it's going to need to be modified straight out of the packet, but there's nothing unusual about that, is there? Ta-da! This, kids, is a turbo carry diff. And what is the difference, you might ask? This is actually bigger on the turbo model, so you can put various bigger diff ratios in it, such as these, and therefore go faster. There it is. I've been looking for one for over a year and finally got one. And I would say the price was a steal. So very happy with that. Now what I'm going to do with this cardboard area is attempt to modify a carry gearbox to put cappuccino gears in it. And then that will marry up to this thing perfectly. And hopefully I'll be able to have gear ratios that are the same as a cappuccino. Anyway, we'll see how we go. This is an Ea11r cappuccino gearbox. If you don't know what a cappuccino is, that's a cappuccino. But this is a later model one. Actually, that makes no difference here, because the gearbox for an Ea11r and this car, which is an Ea21r, are the same. I have another one in there. This one I got from the donor car that donated its engine to go into the carry truck. This is a spare gearbox. What I'm going to do with this gearbox is pull it apart and try and put the gears from this into a carry gearbox. Alright, this next part goes out to all the people that want to motor swap a cappuccino, like putting in a rotary or something like that. Watch this. Alright, what I'm going to do is try and pick this up with one finger. Yeah, that's just goes to show you how light it is. Not much to it. Now this is a four-wheel drive carry gearbox. I'm not really sure exactly how this works, but from diagrams and things, there should be a chain in here that links the main drive to the four-wheel drive. And what I think happens is that when you engage four-wheel drive using, which lever is it? This lever here, that actually locks the front diff somehow. So because the four-wheel drive system seems to be different to the rest of the gearbox, that gives me hope that I'll be able to do what I want to do. But I don't know. We'll see. I have to get these two in half and then have a bit of a look. See if I can get them side by side and compare lengths. Okay, as rough as guts and not very scientifically. Here's where the output is on the cappuccino, and as you can see, the carry over there is quite a bit longer. So this might not work. But if the spline is the same diameter, then I might be able to put the gears on the shaft that runs through the carry gearbox. But again, I won't know until I pull it apart. If I'm lucky, then the main shaft inside that gearbox will actually end here, the same length as this, and then it will be connected to the four-wheel drive junk, and then have another shaft that comes out here for the main drive. But again, don't know. I could probably look at diagrams, but what's the fun in that? Let's pull it apart. Alright, so I've got my trusty ratchet. They look like 12s, they are. Let's start pulling this thing apart. That's when you realise you're a bit of an idiot. If you have air tools, I suggest you use them. This is what prevents you from being able to go from from fifth into reverse. That is what that does. Let's put that. That will not be required. So let's put that over here. Right over there. Out of the way. Now, we need to get... I can't remember what sensor that is. That might be reverse light, actually. Going to need a big spanner. Same as an O2 sensor, maybe? There we go. Apparently, yes. Same as an O2 sensor. So that's, what's that, 21, 22? I don't know, the balls will tell me. There's a little thing in there that will push this up, which will probably connect these two together, and that'll make the reverse light go on, I think. I think that's what that's for. That be fairly logical. Now, how do you come apart? I have my handy dandy manual here, so let's get stuck into that. Disassembly of the transmission unit. Remove release bearing and backup light switch. That's what that is. Right, remove gear shift lever case by removing 8 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done that. Remove extension case number 1 by removing 9 bolts. That would be this. Extension case. Yep, okay. So I need to remove that next. What if this has still got oil in it? Be interesting. Going up here like this. I always wrote this thing off as being completely useless, but it's actually quite useful. Right, now we need a prying point, which is this here. See just what's in there. That's pretty cool looking, isn't it? Ooh. Remove countershaft side circlip and remove countershaft rear bearing by using bearing puller. Well, I don't have a bearing puller, so I'm going to have to go get one of those before I can continue. Remove countershaft side circlip. That would be this circlip here. And then I have to remove this bearing using a bearing puller. Now, I wonder if I can make a bearing puller. How am I going to remove this circlip? Sometimes circlips can be done with a screwdriver. Now I have this thing. And this isn't a bearing puller. But I wonder if I couldn't use it as a bearing puller. Let's find out. Right, I need to get this circlip out of here. Let's Google this before I fuck it. Okay, I didn't film this because I didn't want you to see me cry. What I used was, what I had to do was get this bearing off and this bearing. Now I didn't have a bearing puller. I tried to use this, but it just bent the washers out. I wasn't sure how tight a bearing would actually be. Obviously fairly tight. Now, so I borrowed this bearing puller kit, which isn't ideal. I guess the Suzuki one has longer arms than this, because getting this one off with this is obviously impossible, and the other arms that are available with this kit also will not do it. So this one was done, you just wind this in like this, and then these little claws, it's like a crane game really, and you just, I mean, I've already got it 3/4 of the way off. I just sort of tapped it back on to show you how this works, and then that's how you pull one bearing off, and the other one I've already got off as well, but I had to use this same bolt, the same middle bolt, in this crazy apparatus here, which is very awkward to use, and I sort of wedged these corners in here and then did the same thing. Was able to screw the center bolt in, and that raised the bearing up and made it let go. And that is how you remove the bearings without using a hammer, which was actually suggested to me, but I thought that was dodgy as fuck, so I didn't do that. Now there's a whole bunch of, these gears just lift off now, you see. So the bearing puller is literally only for bearings. Go figure. That one doesn't look like it moves. Not sure why. Maybe this is on there somehow. I guess we'll have to go back to the instructions. Spacer and countershaft. First key by using a bearing puller. Right, so I have to use a bearing puller for this guy, I think. This guy just comes straight off, right? So obviously the problem isn't this one don't need a bearing puller for this. Maybe it's that bottom one in there. Don't know. We'll see. I only mess around with Suzukis, so maybe it's worth my while to actually buy the genuine Suzuki bearing puller. I know that sounds crazy to all of my friends watching, but I might just do that, depending on how expensive it is. It could be $1 million, who knows. Genuine Suzuki bearing puller, God knows how much that would cost. But yeah, that's that. That's it for this episode, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like. See you next time.